May the 4th be with you. Hello there, and welcome to the May the 4th episode of Dr. T getting his butt kicked all over the place. Come on. Okay, what can I say? I resemble Chewbacca already, so I figure, I gotta lean into it and go with it. So, also, Chewbacca, come on, let's be honest, best character in the movies. I don't think he was in the second, trilogy. I'll call it the Syllogy, because it wasn't a trilogy. Let's face it, the only trilogy is episodes 4, 5, and 6. 1 through 3, Jar Jar Binks. Anyways, that's stage 1. It's done. Basically, the cannon is really beefy, but if you place yourself on the opposite end of the headquarters from the cannon can't reach you, so it's fantastic. And also, number 2, stage 2, if you would. Sort of the same deal. If you go up the left-hand side, you can kill things, and the boom cannons and the scary stuff on the right can't reach you. And I'm kind of bombing through things really quickly just to speed things up because, I'm crunched for time, unfortunately. I really gotta talk to them about, letting me work from home or sleep in or something. Anyways, back to let's face it, the far more important things here. May the 4th. I don't know, I grew up with Star Wars. I love Star Wars. It was a huge, I remember running around and, pretending the Sarlacc pit was gonna eat me, back in the day. Sorry, stage 3, with the boom cannon. Place yourself on the opposite side from that boom cannon. It wasn't stage 2. My bad. Anyways, I digress. It's May the 4th, so I am pretty excited. I don't know, I'm curious, what's your favorite Star Wars character? Everybody's like, oh yeah, Luke, oh yeah, no, Leia. Normally the girls like Leia, the boys like Luke. Assuming there's girls that actually watch this video. Alright, I know that there's this whole renaissance of gaming where girls are gaming and it's cool and stuff, and don't get me wrong, I've played enough MMOs, I know that they are out there, but do girls actually like playing Boom Beach? Is this a thing? I don't know where it kind of falls. Kind of curious if you're a girl and you're out there and you enjoy Boom Beach. Let me know. I'd love to hear from the ladies in the crowd, especially considering the troops I use 90% of the time are tanks, which are lady-driven. Come on. Best troop in the game is driven, I guess. Ladies, yeah. Really, is it the tank or the tank driver that's more important? Because I feel like, the tank without the driver is just gonna sit there. I don't know. Anyways, it's been a morning, okay? I had struggles with stage 4. I'm gonna warn you right now because we are coming up on it. By the way, don't land those troops in the bottom. The only reason I did that was so that they'd kill buildings and speed things up. This is stage 4. Oh my goodness. I don't know why they did this to us, but I landed on the right obvi, and flare up into that corner, and then you can start taking out these boom cannons. The good news is they have about 6,000 hit points each, so hopefully you can work through it with the GBE you have available. And also, you picked up, the defensive building, the goo, whatever the heck that was, at first landing. You're getting some free GBE as you kind of roll in. And then, you'll start taking out, hopefully, the rocket launcher or something before that second boom cannon really starts to become an immediate threat. But don't go too crazy out here at the beginning, because the really crazy part is inside, I guess, closer to the base, where you can see now on the screen already this really beefy cannon sitting in the back corner, and a couple of sniper towers who are pricks. They're just kind of sitting there waiting, and for some reason my crazy drunken tank has wandered down to the cannon and is just like, yes, this is the defense that we need to take out. I could have driven past it, but anyways, I digress. Maybe keep your tank from drifting down. If your tanks do start drifting down towards that cannon, just give them a little flare up. Keep them on task. So we want to go into the top corner and kind of work our way around. Now, fortunately, a shock will take out all that crap, but it leaves that stupid sniper tower at the bottom. And this is why I say save some freaking energy, because if you've got any energy at all, if you've got enough, take out that sniper tower at the bottom while you're stunning the crap out of all the stuff up at the top. Just because he will sit there and he will pick off your tanks, and I kind of screwed up with that stun. I wasn't sure actually after throwing it if like people would even be able to throw that third stun based on how much energy they have. Like, I feel like my energy is currently higher than the energy I started with before landing tanks. So I'm hoping I'm in a good energy place, but it's like one of those weird things. And then I start to realize, oh crap, the sniper tower has been picking off my guys, and I finally take them out. So I feel like this attack would go a lot smoother if you did that a lot earlier than I did, which is kind of the point of me trying to throw these out, because, you know, that way you can get that heads up and you can do the smart things and win the fights and defeat the dark side, because, you know, that's what you do. So this fortunately brings us to the cruise control portion of stage 4 and the loot pinata, which is fantastic because then we can move on to stage 5, which is a doozy. I can't believe I just said a doozy. I need to rethink my life. So, not really. Stage 5 is another really intense GBE attack. As you can see, I'm kind of going through and I'm clearing out boom cannons here because there's a buttload of boom cannons. And they do all need to be kind of popped. Now, obviously, not in the order I necessarily went through it. If you don't have the GBE to take out all 3 ahead of time, by all means, take out the one closest to the shore, and then land your troops, start doing your clearing and your blah blah blah. The other option is, if you don't think you're going to have the GBE to just straight up destroy them all, this one at the very front, save it. Use a shock on it, and take it down with your tanks, and don't use the GBE on that extra defense. Let that kind of sit and build up for later, the 2 later boom cannons. The good news is the remaining 2 boom cannons can be outranged as long as you hug your ladies all the way up against the very top and as far back to the right as possible, which you'll be seeing eventually anyways. And I kind of let the one roam here and threw some critters. If you don't have the critters, it's not a big deal. It was just kind of to distract rocket launchers, which basically you do, you don't kind of have to do. It's one of those, you know, like, they will wear you down. It will be a battle of attrition, but it shouldn't be that big of a thing. Like, you have to accept you will have losses. There will be blood, if you would. And it's just a matter of trying to reduce the amount of that so that I can move on and film stage 6 without having it cost me a freaking fortune, which is why I started tossing some of my spare GBE on these stupid rockets just to kind of cross them off of the "you're a pain in my arse" list. But by all means, like, you do not have to take out these rockets. It's not a must. So, this is the portion of our programming where we sit and we watch the tanks for several minutes destroy the HQ. As you'll notice, they will come up from behind and take out the Achilles tendon. They also hunt in packs. So anyways, good news is, we're coasting right on through to finishing off the HQ, getting our loot, and moving on to Stage 6, which is also, get this, ridiculous. It is a super, I guess, energy-intensive attack. Fortunately, they give you this big block of machine guns at the very beginning, which I'm a super huge fan of. I think each of those stupid boom cannons has 12 to 14k-ish hit points, which means, you know, you definitely need to throw some love at them. Actually, hold on, I can do the math. Yeah, it's 12k. They're level 4, but because of the, like, 7.5k boost that they get, they end up ridiculous. Anyways, so I took out the one closest to the shore, and then I took out the, like, basically the next one I'd come across. And there's also 2 shock launchers, just are extra fun. So you gotta start throwing down the GBE on those shock launchers, or they're gonna grind your troops to a halt, and then you'll be sitting there picking your nose while no one does anything. Which, you know, as I love picking my nose as much as the next guy, but there's a time and place for everything, right? So we're gonna take out the, I guess, closest shock launcher and continue to absorb GBE by taking out these defenses, because there's a lot of them and they're really, really tight together. So here I kind of just let the stun kind of do its thing, so that I know that I'm definitely in a good spot, and then I start throwing the shock bombs, and unfortunately absorbing the boom mines, and I even have, like, this whole host of tanks just wandering off, like, oh yeah, these sniper towers that have nothing to do with anything, these are the things I should really be shooting at. Oh yeah, sure, why not? Like, you dicks. So unfortunately, we can't flare into the bottom left-hand corner because there's all those crazy boom mines, and I'm afraid of them. So we just let the tanks slowly roll through, stunning things as we go. And fortunately, we run out of GBE basically as we're on that shock launcher, so it kind of slows us down, but that's okay. And then we flare everything together because there's still a tank out there, just going crazy. I don't know why. Fortunately, once you're in this position, there's a machine gun that can hit you, which is not a big deal at all. And I think actually one of the sniper towers might be taking, like, you know, shots at something somewhere. But the point is, the tanks up at the front are still pretty healthy, so it's just a matter of watching them go through and take out the HQ. Which brings us to Stage 7, which, after stages like 5 and 6, seems like a bit of a cakewalk. I feel like it's a tarp. It's a trap. Anyways, I try. So, with 7, I'm not actually going to attack because I have no freaking troops, but if you curve around the very back, you can, like, skip right past those boom cannons, and then that mother that can't do anything if you're up behind the HQ, so it's just really that shock launcher that you have to worry about, and maybe some rocket launchers. So hopefully later this evening I'll be able to put something together